Hi there, welcome to Ann Evolving. I am finishing up my 90-day NIRA trial using both lasers and their topicals, which is the Youth Renewal Peptide Cream and their hyaluronic acid serum. I'm seeing enough to show you, and I think you can get a really good idea of how, if you are committed to using a laser or peptide or hyaluronic acid, those things into your skin regimen, how it can help. Now, you don't want to do a laser if you don't want to invest in it, you're not able to invest in it, you're not ready to devote the time to that, you really don't have to. I'm doing it because I have really been hard on my skin for many, many years and didn't start wearing sunscreen probably till I was 50. And I just have a lot of skin discoloration and damage, and I wanted to see if it worked. And since I am here on this channel trying things to help me evolve and feel more confident and more like me, it was something I wanted to try. So if you don't know, I bought the NIRA Precision, age 58, used it for 30, 45, 60, 90 days and took pictures, and I will put that journey here. And then this time I reached out to them to see what's the difference between the two, because I was trying to figure out if I wanted it or wanted to buy it. I really thought I wanted it because I had said if I could find this and put it all over my body, I would. So when I did call them and say, you know, how's it used with it and all that kind of stuff, they said, let us send you one so you can test it and show your viewers. So I enjoyed being able to get the second one without having to invest in it. I understand and appreciate that it's a huge expense, but I'm also a very big do-it-yourself kind of person. And so for me, not having to go somewhere and do it, it didn't matter about you get more bang for your buck quicker. None of those things mattered to me. I wanted to have something I could do at home, and I wanted to have something that I could build into my regimen. And that has been what this has done. And I have really enjoyed both devices. I really, really enjoy the NIRA Pro. I like the way it feels. I like that it's warm. I like that I can close my eyes and just travel in a path over my face and my neck and my chest. I also do my hands without feeling like I have to watch where I'm putting that precision. The precision does, I use it a lot here and under these lines and on the spots of my hands, but I also use the Pro on all of those areas. So the reason I say that is if I had to buy one, I would buy the Pro. That's what I'm saying there. I know I'm looking very sticky and glowy at this point, but that's okay. It kind of helps receive the makeup that I want it to receive. I am out of my amazing Bobbi Brown vitamin enriched face base. It does help my makeup stay on longer. I don't know what it is about aging, but I can do the same things now that I did 10 years ago, and it drinks up the color, my skin. It just really does not like to hold color. And so if you've watched any of my videos, you know I am very heavy-handed on the initial application of blush because in a couple of hours it fades so much. So don't be alarmed if this is your first time here. I'm Ann, I'm 60, and I make videos for women over 50 to help us kind of rediscover ourselves, our vitality, our confidence, and getting ready with you as we talk through my NIRA trial results. And I'm gonna put those up here. We'll add that in, so stay tuned. Haven't done those yet. I'll do those later when I'm not wearing makeup. But you know what? I guess you can see, I don't have on any, well, I put on some concealer here, but you can see, this is a great idea. Just take advantage of what I'm doing right now. My hands. I will add in pictures, and I want to show you my neck too, because my neck is the worst of all. My chest is really, really badly damaged from sun. And so I have noticed, I don't know if you can see, I'm not a professional with taking these photos, and sometimes someone will say, well, you know, the lighting looks different or it's really hard to see, and they say, these pictures aren't good. They're good to me as an ordinary woman trying to find and see the results. So I don't know. I'm sharing them for what they're worth. All I can say is I am giving you my honest opinion and my honest perception of what I'm seeing. I think I'm going to put on this Shiseido Synchro Skin. I really like this. Comes in lots of different colors. Also, it appears like my skin, but better. Some of these tend to make my pores look rough textured, like not smooth. And I really, really enjoy when I can have a foundation that doesn't exaggerate my pores. I have learned a few tips since I've, been around the block a few decades. And one of those things is that Morphe setting spray. It's so nice, and it really does help kind of melt the foundation into the skin. And then I take just a beauty blender, I pat that in, and what that does is it just kind of gives the skin the prep that it needs. I'm ready for the rest of my makeup. Again, what am I noticing from my NIRA? I've noticed a few things, and I think it's important that we have realistic expectations. First of all, it's kind of like being on a diet. If you're here, you know that I am working on my health, my weight, my whole person. And one of the things that happens is I have to be aware and remind myself that I didn't get to this place overnight or in a couple of weeks or a few months. I'm 60. It has taken years of impact from the sun and external elements and things like that. That's what's showing up on my skin. The effect of 6 decades of sun and everything else, sleep, hydration, lack thereof, all of those things are affecting my skin. All of those things are what I'm seeing when I look in the mirror, both in my body, in my physique, and in my skin. And so to think that in 90 days, I'm going to see everything reverse, it's just not realistic. However, what I can tell you is I do see improvement. I'm going to tell you specifically what I see, and I hope it's helpful in your buying decision as you look at my results, and just so that you have this information in your mind that helps you, if you're using it, to kind of have those realistic expectations of the changes I'm seeing as someone who has committed to doing this and the results that I'm seeing. If you haven't seen the video of how I'm using it during this trial, I am doing the NIRA Pro at night. I'm doing it on my face, neck, chest, and hands. And then in the morning, I'm using the Precision to quickly hit these spots on my hand, usually this right here and under my chin. I am hitting those spots, and I'm not doing it every morning. I forget. I forgot this morning. But I'm trying. And if I want, I can come in and get these real deep crevices on my chest with the Precision. I just tend not to do it every morning. On the weekends, yes. When I did my first trial, I had used just the NIRA. I stopped doing my topicals. Then I started trying the May Love Trio. So again, I did the NIRA trial and saw results over a 10-month period. Stopped using the NIRA, started using the May Love Trio because I wanted to use one without the other to see the results independently. Both excellent results. I went back on them together. I now know whatever I add in is truly the result of that being added in. It's not because I've taken something out that something has changed. I'm now on a regimen, and by adding something in, I can see if that thing works or it doesn't. By using the May Love Trio and by using the NIRA Precision, the hyaluronic acid and the youth renewal peptide cream, I think I can fairly, not scientifically, but fairly share with you what I think my results have been. The other thing that I have continued using is my Retin-A. But if I don't use it, I get, believe it or not, I get acne right here where I wear my glasses, and then I get a lot of those growths on my head. And there's one right here that you can see and one right here. And those get really bad. I'm going to spray again. I'm going to come in and set it. I've been using this Jouer Soft Focus powder, and I really do like it. So I have noticed since using the new NIRA Pro and the Precision together, the pores on my face, I think, continue to look less noticeable. I've also noticed that the lines between my right here, these 11s as they call them, that they are I believe, less deep. I think that the texture above my eyes here is better. It is the area that when I stop right here in these lines, I do feel it begins to fall. But I honestly think that what I'm seeing here and under these lines right here and on the side, I do think they're better. It feels like it's a little bit lifted, fuller, not as sunken. And under the eye, when I'm not wearing makeup, I think you can really tell how smooth it is. It's less crepey. It's an issue with skin and the way skin changes and the appearance of it that makes me look and feel older. So, improvement in pores, size, and bumpy look. Texture around the eyes here, and I notice that when I put on makeup, I think it's better. Under the eyes, I think it's smoother, and I think they're a little bit fuller. They're not as sunken looking. This area right here is better. This area on the side, where I'm working on the red spots that I wear my glasses, and I continue to have that area that breaks out, and so they look a little worn. Keeping it here and up here, this area I feel is looking better. This, when I started using it, these were, I felt longer and more sunken, were more pronounced. The dimple area, these areas right here where my, I had very significant marionette lines are improving. I feel like this is my neck. Now I haven't put my Miracle Invisicrape on. I'll do that now. But this is my neck. I do think that that's improving. And I feel it, certainly here. You don't see the line under here as much as in my initial pictures. So this, to me, this marionette area, where it looks like you have a puppet mouth and the lines that go with it, I do think they're getting better. I'm not gonna stop using this thing. And I know that if I do it every day, it feels more youthful. Feels more youthful. I think it looks plumper, and I can see the results. So if you want to check also, you can see I just put that Invisicrape on. I come all the way down here because this is where it gets very crepey. And you can see, I think, how it tightens up. I posted recently about this. Since I started my channel at 58, I have had 2 of these. Each one has lasted me about a year. I remember thinking, oh my, that's really expensive. As someone who buys CeraVe and just very inexpensive things, but it's lasted me each jar for a year. And every morning when I put it on, I can tell the difference. When I don't put it on, I can also tell the difference. Considering the cost per wear and the impact per wear, it's to me one of the quickest things you can do, whether or not you're using any other skincare. It sure does help mask the look of lines and crepiness on your neck. I love it. All right, getting back to, okay, that's kind of the face. That's kind of what I'm seeing on my face. The other thing I'm noticing are my hands. So as you know, if you have watched any of my NIRA stuff, I have been very proactive in finding something that helps reduce the look of these spots on my hands. Now, remember, on my hands, I have for the last couple of years been using the NIRA Precision. The other thing I have been doing is using the Maylove Trio. Everything I do on my face, I do in my neck, my chest, and my hands. By using that NIRA Precision, I was not using it all over my hands. I was just using it on the spots because that would have taken a while. And yes, I did it on my face a lot, but not to the degree that I have been able to use the NIRA Pro. So I started using that NIRA Pro on my hands. And what I do is I go down my whole thumb. I go all of this, and all of this. And I do that on both hands. And probably within 45 days, I started seeing the spots lighten. For me, this is so much lighter. I don't know if you can see that. But here's the other big change. My hands, I feel, look at least 5 years younger, maybe 10. When I would bend them, when I would drive to work and look at my hands, I wish you could, I'm gonna hold it in the light here and see if that helps. when I would bend them, all of this was so crepey and just aged looking. And I'm telling you what, if I could be here in person with you, I think you could. Of course, you'd have to see them before. But when I bend them like this, they're not as crepey. When I look at them on the steering wheel, of course I see aged hands. They are not. I think the NIRA Pro is a tremendous solution. Doing that every night and then hitting the spots in the morning with the Precision has changed my hands. And I'm so excited. Now, I continue to do all the things on my hands that I have been doing, which is retin-A, the Love stuff, and every now and then I will use that faded cream. I want to keep trying because I want the whole cocktail of all the things that work. And, just like anything, if you want something to work, you do have to do it every day. I use my habit tracker. If you haven't downloaded it, it is a free download at my site, anneevolving.com. I use this for so many things. I use it for my NIRA. I use it for the products I'm using to visually tell me how I have to use something and how often it's recommended, so that in a couple of weeks, 3 weeks, 4 weeks, 90 days, I can look back and say, okay, I did that almost every day, or I said I would, or it says you should, but I only did it 2 or 3 times a week. So is my thought of it didn't work that I didn't do it, or that it didn't work? And I'm telling you, it's super helpful because it has helped me not only push myself to do the things I'm supposed to do with this and other changes or trials that I'm doing, but it helps me see, did I really do it? Is it working? Is it not working? And then I can make these adjustments. So for the NIRA, hands and face, a definite yes. Also for the neck, I do believe that this is lifting. I do believe that the wrinkles, I think the lift here on the jawline, I think this area right here is less than it was. Now, you may say, but Anne, you're trying to lose weight. The weight I'm losing might have something to do with it, but I've been losing weight for 2 years now. And so I don't think that's the significance in these 90 days, but I will share that with you in case that's what you are thinking. I don't think that is what truly is lifting this area. I think it's the NIRA Pro because the wrinkles are changing, the depth of those wrinkles. And I think it's the tool doing what it says it's going to do, which is deeply working on the elastin and collagen and rebuilding that, which makes it lift. Those fibers grow and lift. And I do think it requires everyday usage, and at least for the first 30 to 45 days. I mean, then if you go to every other day, I think it's okay. I think you just have to keep going. And I will keep using this. I love how it feels and I love the results. So the last thing I want to share with you is my chest and what I'm seeing. So I'm back and I put on a shirt where you can kind of tell. Now, don't worry about the face, but I am showing you the neck. This is the area. I'll take this off because I don't want it to mask anything. So again, this is the neck after I put on this, which I haven't looked, but I think it always looks better. I can always kind of tell the before and after. But this is the area that is got very severe lines here and also around here. And there's also a lot of raised, these KPs, I think the keratosis pilaris, but I want to do it this way so you can see as much as possible with the light hitting it and turning side to side so that you can see if you notice any of the improvement that I notice. So again, this is the best I can do with light and whatnot, but I will share the photos and I will try and zoom in on them so you can get the same, you can get a good idea of what I'm seeing. So, all right, stay tuned. Okay, so that wraps up the video. I hope the pictures were helpful, giving you an update on my 90-day NIRA Pro laser devices and topicals trial. I am finished with, I guess telling that part of the story. I will continue to use the device. I love it. I really recommend you watch How to Have Younger Skin in 90 Days and kind of the ABCs of skincare. And I do know I owe you one more video in that series, which is how to put all of those things in the regimen so that you can see results. And so stay tuned, be sure to subscribe. That is coming very soon. Thank you for being here, and I look forward to seeing you in the next one.